Hey all, Tech Sensor here. I figured while I'm recording the first video, I'll record the second one because this one's a little bit shorter. And I wanted to put this back in my device anyway. So I wanted to show you the ModRetro Chromatic Power Core, rechargeable power core. This is the box you get. It's not shrink wrapped, but I actually just noticed something that I'll point out. That's not part of the standard unboxing process, but you'll see that just like the ModRetro case that the system comes in, they kind of have a style that they like to do, which is a very like colorful comic book style for their packaging, and they usually keep the sides pretty simplistic. And then over here in the back, you'll see that it says power up with ModRetro's rechargeable power core. It's got a little graphic here of what it looks like sitting inside your system. And then it says, this advanced snap-in core keeps your Chromatic powered longer, delivering extended playtime and fast recharging so you can stay in the game without missing a side quest. And then it specifically says includes rechargeable lithium-ion battery, USB cable, and then of course hours of uninterrupted fun. Again, this box, it's a small box to get kind of right to the point. But one thing I didn't notice, because when I first opened it, I opened it here from the side, but I noticed there was a little flap with some tape on here, you can see. And so, I said that this channel, I want to kind of talk about the feel of a product and what it's like to open it. But what I noticed, because I just opened it up here, when you cut that and you remove it, you get this right here, which is the future, it's retro. And then it's got it's got a little see-through here where you can see the power core itself. I let the sticker on there, still haven't removed this, but it says update firmware before use. I really like this. The instructions for this are super simple in the sense that, they don't need a whole little booklet to tell you how everything works. They just kind of give you a little sticker. But this packaging is really fun. You can tell that when they were designing it, they had a good time. And so when you open it up, one thing that won't be in here, it's going to be off the side, but under the flap here is where the USB-C cable would sit, and this is what the cable is. Obviously, it's pretty much just a standard USB-C cable, but it is braided. So, again, this goes back to it feeling premium when you're purchasing something from the company. So, they could have included a much cheaper feeling looking cable. And I appreciate them for doing that, but pull it out of the box here. And as you saw in the little preview earlier, this is kind of what you get. So you pull this out. And then this kind of reminds me a little bit of the N64 expansion pack here, but there's nothing on this side. There's the contacts here that sit in the back of the system. And then the ones that sit on the side for normally where the AA batteries go. And then this is the part that sits on the bottom of the system, as I pointed out. And I've already pried out my batteries. As my cable over there falls. I've already pried out the batteries from the back of the system. But you'll see, as I pointed out, the back of it sits right there. Those 3 metal contacts sit there, and those 3 contacts go in here. I did notice, and I'm just going to point this out from this video, I've already contacted their support, but I noticed that the way that these 3 areas look aren't the same. And this, I can't tell if this is an exposed cable or if it's supposed to be like that, but just something I figured I'd point out while I'm looking at this, because I noticed it filmed in the last video. But yeah, the only issue I have with this is how to put it in. It's not quite as elegant maybe as you'd like, but I did see another video where they kind of put it in this way first, and I'm trying to do this over. Yeah, see, so it doesn't really want to sit in there as easily as you'd like it to, but once you snap it in there, it's pretty tight. It's not something that you're going to be removing very often, but if you do have to remove it, there is this little latch right here, and it's a little bit easier to pull out than it is to go back in. So again, I wish if I had one suggestion for the ModRetro team, if they ever do a version 3 of these devices, I don't know if I'd make it any easier. It's easier to put, you got to push it in a little bit more, and it kind of makes you, wonder if you're breaking it. But again, the process of removing this is pretty simple. I don't think you'll be doing any kind of damage to the device itself. And again, the great thing about these things is I think they said that they're going to eventually make like a charging station for these, so you can buy multiple. So which would be great, because then you can, if you're going on a trip, this is supposed to last, I believe, up to 16 hours on a charge. So if you're going on a trip or something, you can you could charge multiple of these. But as it stands right now, you can have one of these, charge it to full, and then take some AA batteries with you, as backup if you plan on playing a lot. And this is the part that I'm, kind of unsure about, is the fact that you got this little piece right here that clearly is supposed to go back there, but that these pieces are supposed to attach as well. So I can't quite figure out if, which part is supposed to go in first. It kind of makes me a little bit nervous. But as far as where the AA batteries go, I wish they put like a little rib in here, so that when you need to remove them, you can just like pull it up. That would be a nice adjustment. ModRetro team, if you ever guys do a version 3. And so then once you put that in there, get that satisfying feeling of putting the battery case back in. You hear the metal on metal. Also, this feels, this has a plastic feel to it, but it's got a tiny little bit of heft. I wouldn't say it's heavier than putting in three AA batteries, but so it doesn't add too much weight to it. But it does feel, it feels again like another premium product. Everything that so far that I've used of theirs feels very premium, and it sits in there, just clicks back in. And so now we'll go back to turning it on. I gotta put it up here so you can hear the satisfying click. And then everything will be the same. Here, let me zoom out a bit. There you go. So everything will be the same. And you'll even notice that when you press the mod button here, it shows the battery. So just like with the three AA batteries, the battery meter is the same. It doesn't really distinguish itself, the difference between whether or not you have the rechargeable battery pack or not in there. And one thing that I did notice before I'm finished with this video, I just want to say, like, one thing I noticed is, like, when you plug it in here with this in here and you plug it into a USB port, you'll see this light come on, and I believe the light just goes off whenever it's done charging. So there is a way to tell. There's no kind of docking solutions or anything like that. You just pretty much plug it in, and then if you need to check the battery life, you just hit the button right there. Again, 16 hours is a pretty long time, so I think for most people that'll be more than enough time. But again, you also have the option of just popping it out really quickly and putting in some AA batteries, and then hopefully in the future they do sell power charging stations, so you can buy multiple of these. Or if you want, you can plug the, put this in here, you charge it up, and take it out. If you buy another one, you can put that in there and charge it up, and so then you have multiple power cores. The only thing I saw on their website, they did say do not let the power core completely dissipate, that it can cause some issues. I'm not really quite sure what that's about. There shouldn't really be any reason that a device with a lithium-ion battery goes bad if it dissipates for at least a little bit of time. I can imagine, obviously, like a year or two of no charge might not be good for it, but so that's something that maybe they have to answer for a little bit more. But I don't plan on keeping this device uncharged, for prolonged periods of time. And again, too, when this device is turned off, it's not like a lot of modern devices where it's running things in the background or it's in sleep mode. This device is completely off. So this is definitely not a kind of device where if you're in the middle of a gaming and you can't save it or whatever, or you don't want to save it, you just want to put it to sleep, you can't. There's no sleep mode, there's no inactive mode. You got to turn it off, or you got to let it keep playing. But that's the Chromatic power core. I would definitely recommend buying this. The only other solution that I would maybe suggest is to buy rechargeable batteries, but seeing how hard it is to get the batteries in and out, I definitely would just buy this, because then you just plug the system in. In a world like today where almost everything has a rechargeable battery, and with how difficult the batteries are to replace on this, and just the wear and tear of constantly removing them, I think this is a much better solution. And I believe it's $19.99 on standard price. I got it on sale for their Black Friday sale. So also, if you're seeing this video, and it's before December 1st, they got a Black Friday sale going on. This is the best time, I believe, 15% off on accessories. So it's the best time to go to their website. I'm not sponsored or anything. I just bought this, and I'm passionate enough about it to review it. But I almost think that this is a must-buy with the device, and be cool if in the future maybe they offered like a discount for people who bought this along with it. See y'all later.